You've stopped into another episode of Dad Crossing where myself, Nick, and my co-host Sean will have real, honest chats about the highs and lows of dad life. We'll laugh together at the craziness of parenting and the silliness of our kiddos, and we'll support each other through the challenges and tough decisions of fatherhood. Whether you're a seasoned granddad or a dad-to-be, we promise laughs, relatable, and sometimes raw talk, and expert help to tackle the tough issues. Not from Sean and me, but from the amazing guests we'll have on the show. So let's be dads crossing through life together. Welcome, folks, to Dad Life. That's right, there's an actual Dad Life episode. I know it's been like, 2-3 weeks since we've had an actual proper Dad Life episode. Is that about right, Sean?
Yes. World Cups, open houses, and generally not just having time to do anything else because you were getting holes put in you.
That's true. Yeah, there's that. So we have a Dad Life episode. This one is entitled "When Did Our Kids Become People?" Actual thought, the people with thoughts and their own opinions and all that good stuff. So I
Yep.
don't know. It's crazy.
It's an interesting topic, and from a parent's point of view, especially because I've seen it 3 times now.
Sure, yeah.
It's what are you drinking out of?
That was not going to be his next sentence, just so everybody knows. I am drinking out of our old Disney cup. I still have it. It's got a little NFC chip at the bottom that no longer works, but we bought it, and you could, for the duration of our trip, you could set it down and get free drinks. So I left my
I just saw the
cup at
pink handle.
work. Yeah.
I saw the pink handle and I was like, why are you drinking out of a frozen cup? That was my first thought.
Yeah. Well, listen,
I wasn't gonna shame you for
shame?
drinking
I
out
was
of a
going to
frozen
say,
cup.
are
No.
you shaming my drinking preferences?
Your
I'm my own
beverage.
person, Sean. I get to make my own choices.
Yes, we don't judge here, just we question sometimes. I only wanted to know what was on it, because I saw the pink handle and then what looked like the Disney princess castle, and
Yep,
I was
it's got the castle on there. It's got, I don't know, it's got all the bunch of Goofy characters, Mickey Mouse characters, and then at the bottom there's different all the different hotels at maybe not all of them, but a handful of them.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Anyway, as I was saying, it's a very interesting concept to look at when your children suddenly become their own person, because without it sounding blunt, and there might be a lot of expectant fathers and mothers out there that could listen to this, or first-time mothers and fathers that have just had a child that are listening to this. Your partner basically gives birth to a potato. They come out, they all almost look the same. They have no traits and personality. They all scream, cry, poop, pee, crap, and need feeding on the regular. They don't really develop any kind of personality until about 18 months old, I reckon. That's when Logan and Emily they had what they enjoyed doing began. So Emily was very much as she is now. She's just shown you her pixel art before we started. But she was very creative and very organized with things. Like, we used to take her to the seaside and she would pick up stones and she would take them all the way from the seafront to this little stone wall area, and she would line them up. And then Logan got into cars and stuff like that, and bits and pieces, and the films, Disney cars and stuff. So that's for me. That's when they first start showing their own interests and likes. 'Cause it's something that isn't nature, which is kind of just interest and nurtured from them. But Logan's at an age now from 6 to 8 where he's formed his own opinions on things, his own feelings, his thought
Hmm.
processes behind stuff. And I mean, his school report for this year is just detrimental to that. That his teacher was had written that he's such a kind and caring and compassionate person
Good.
with a really good moral compass and a sense for justice. So, like, if people are done wrong, he will correct them, or he will seek to find somebody that can help correct. Um, and it's just fantastic. It's you watch these people that you have to carry everywhere and feed on the regular, and can't say or do anything without your help and support. And then they get to an age where you're watching them walk out the front door or go and call for their friends and go across to the park, and you're like, I feel so sick because I'm not doing it for them.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're fight. I think it's almost like they're, I don't know if fighting's the right word, but they're like kind of like they're in a cocoon, right? And they're just like slowly are breaking out of to be that person from almost birth, right? Like I mean, it's usually like food first, right? Like I don't like that. I like this. I don't like that. And that's like the first like, oh wow. Okay. It's like, oh, that's like their first like opinion, right? And then it's like, what do they play with? Do they play with blocks? Noah loved to play with blocks. Ariel didn't care about blocks. She wanted to like draw random things that made no sense on paper, just random scribbles. Like they're just like, but then there are also those moments. I had one not too long ago. Um, Ariel was on the Ariel was on the soccer field, and it was right before the game was supposed to start, and she wasn't like she wasn't like practicing or doing anything like that. She was around like two or three other teammates, and she had the ball under her foot, and she was just rolling it around talking to them, laughing, and she just like kicked it up and grabbed it, and it was just like I was watching her. I was like, it's like I mean, I know she's still a girl. She's very much a girl. She's only 10. But it's like you can almost see the growing adult woman, and she's just like having a good time, and it's like she would be any other, and it's just I don't know. It was just a moment. It was almost like a glimpse of like that's crazy. Like I don't know what just happened. Like she seemed like so in the element, and she was doing her own thing, and so I feel like there's this like these like slow boil of moments making your kiddo into their own person, but then there are these like moments where you realize where it's like they make maybe it's been slow the whole time, but it just like clicks with you all of a sudden of like, wow, okay, like look at that. Like I didn't even I think that's been happening for like the last 3 years, but I just really saw it. And so, yeah.
Yeah. The one that's getting me at the moment is like I've predominantly done, and this is nothing on no criticism to Lindsay because she has chased a career and stuff like that, and she works in term time where I work shifts, so I have a lot more time off. So I do a lot more of the school runs, a lot
Mhm.
more of this like turning up kind of thing, which is a blessing for me. I absolutely love it, and I said that to Logan the other day. I was like, I've been to every sports day that you've ever had. I've been
Mhm.
to every play that you've ever had. I've only missed a couple of teacher parent conferences and stuff like that because they've been where I have been at work. But like Lindsay's gone to them and stuff. Um, taking him to the school gate, and I used to have to walk him all the way to like the door which he went in because he wasn't very confident with going because there's so many people and stuff, and he liked to hold my hand and stuff. And I can remember saying to him at the beginning of this year, year three, that I said to him, "You're going to want me to not do this soon. Like hold your hand and take you to the game." He's like, "No, no, no, Dad. I like this. This is." And now, like, he's trying to get me to stop before I even cross the field before the school. He was like, "Nah, you just wait here. I'm
You're
fine. I'll
good.
go now." And I'm like, I absolutely love that you have this confidence and that you've grown into this like independent little individual that's very happy at taking the final 50 steps into the school grounds
Mm,
without me. But at the same time, I don't get to do this again, and you're not taking it away from me.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
But so I meet him halfway. I cross the field. I walk all the way like to like 50 meters away from the gates, and then I watch him go in, and then wait for him so he can't see me, and then I walk closer to the gates and stand at the fence to make sure he gets in. But
Mhm.
I could give
Mhm.
him the space.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Chicka,
Yeah. I
chicka,
know.
chicka, 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 as a helicopter around.
With
But
Noah this year, just recently, uh, we started to let him like if we're going into the store and we're ordering and we need like 5 or 6 items, I'll be like, Noah, go get the items in the back. Like, go get the tea and whatever else we need in the back, and meet me at the floral department because that's kind of like right there by the checkout. And so, yeah, and so we started to let him do that thing, and he goes back there, he gets the items, and then he'll meet me right in the flower department when I've done got my items, and so or sometimes we'll meet somewhere. We'll just happen upon each other. So yeah, that's one way. Also, he's texting. Like he has his phone. It's my old phone. It's pretty locked down. It doesn't even have cell service, and you can only text people who like we've already approved. But he is like we've pretty much now given him freedom to be like, yeah, you can go text those people as long as it's normal hours. It's not 3 in the morning or something like that. So he can text his grandmas, papa, and a few of the like family friends and stuff like that. And so that's become a bigger deal for him, and to see him kind of like be sending pictures to me of like, Dad, you said I could get a backpack, and Yaya sent me this one. What do you think of this one? And so yeah, he's kind of entering that world of phones and technology, and so it's just another way I see him growing up as his own person.
yeah, and it's not, it's always interesting to read those. I don't know if you do it. We still check Emily's every now and then phone just to make sure that there's like no issues in terms of bullying and stuff like that going on.
Sure.
But we will check just to make sure. But it was very interesting at the start to see how she would communicate with different family members.
Mm-hmm.
It's like how what she would send to my dad and what she would send to my mum and stuff like that, and what she'd send to her niece, to her cousins and stuff like that. But like, we're now at the full point where you can pin messages in iMessage on the iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
I have like obviously Lindsay, I've got Jaya, Logan, Emily, my mum, my dad, all like pinned. But then I have some group chats pinned, and I've got one for just the two girls. I've got one for just me and Logan. Um, and then we have a family one pinned, and it's so funny because the stuff that they put in those different chats is hilarious. So the one with the girls is usually me asking them to do stuff, and like they've resorted to just emoji responses.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I like the one with Logan is where with Logan in and Emily and Jay is where like Logan and Emily seem to share pictures of their artwork and what they've been doing and stuff like that. And it's really interesting just to watch how they interact with different family members and the relationships they've built with them. So
sure, yeah. No, that's really cool. Um, yeah, I think this is also as a parent, it's a very Hmm. It's a very hard but important part of your job of to like let them let them be their person, kind of like what you're saying. Okay, I'm gonna give you your halfway, but I'm still gonna be there to make sure that if something goes wrong, I'm still there. You got to find just the right distance of letting them have their space and slowly giving them just that little bit more space. Almost like what I was saying. It's reverse almost of like, well, I didn't even realize you became that person, or you had like started to be that, you like growing up to that. But you're kind of like increasing their cocoon just a little bit without them knowing it, but not enough to where like they're too they're gonna fail, right? You want to give them
Yeah,
just enough rope that they get to experience being their own person a little bit more and make their own decisions and grow into their own person, but not
yeah.
too much where it puts
See,
them at
I
risk.
for like Logan's age, the tether of stopping them from making the failures because sometimes it's quite an emotional turmoil to make a failure in front of people
Mhm.
and make a mistake which may or may not be able to reversed kind of thing.
Mhm.
But it's different at Emily's age. I have seen things coming, and I've spoken to Lindsay about it, and I've spoken to her mum about it, and I'm like, let's just look at this situation, keep an eye on it, and see what happens, and watch Emily make the mistake.
Mhm.
But then come in and be like, this is something that we can go back on, or it might not be something we can go back on, but we saw this come in. We let you try and make the right decision to stop it from happening, and unfortunately, you haven't. So,
Mhm.
you wanted the adult responsibility of a situation and figuring things out, but unfortunately, you aren't quite there yet. Um,
Yeah.
we did the same with Jaya. Um, and we've seen her make mistakes, but we've also seen her come away from situations which could have led to a mistake or have helped guide other people away from making mistakes. And it's an interesting watch. It's
Mhm.
difficult, especially to watch them make a balls up, basically, that changes a relationship with a friend or a relationship with, a, a teacher or something like that, because they've always had this impression of being such a certain way, but they have then acted in a way that is completely different. So
Mhm.
it's difficult to do that.
Yeah,
But it's
and
also interesting. It's interesting to watch as they've grown up. Like how they all differently in terms of presenting themselves. So Jaya was always um, not so much a girly girl, but she was closer to being a girly girl than Emily is.
mhm.
Where Emily is currently like baggy ripped jeans and a hoodie and like with bands on, and she's colorful hair and she's got the fingerless like gloves and stuff like that. And Lindsay hates it. She hates it because it's not Lindsay's thing. But I'm like, she's just her own person. This might stop. She's
Yeah.
currently in that alternate emo phase, but I went through that phase. I wore the ripped jeans and the band t-shirts and stuff, and come out of it.
Mhm.
But it's just it's something they have to go through, and you have to let them go that way.
Yeah. Yeah, and you were right. You said that better than I did because you don't want to not let them fail, but you want to give them a safe space to fail, and you want to be there to
Yeah,
pick them up and show them what was the right way, as long as it's appropriate.
and be
And
able to have the adult conversations,
yeah.
because that's one of the things that we struggle with is they want the adult freedom or the more grown up freedom from being like the child that's told to be here, be there, do this, wear this, eat this, drink this. Um, to have the freedom that you have as an adult, but they don't have the capacity to deal with that. And it's something we've had to have a conversation with Emily. It's like where you want the responsibility and the freedom of a more mature person, but you don't have the capacity to do it, because when we question why you did something, you will shrug and just say, I don't know. And that to me is,
Right.
if you can't answer that question, you don't have the capacity to make the decision for those situations,
Hmm.
because you can't say why or you did or didn't do something that you did. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's really good. I enjoy the journey. And I actually find it interesting, and even with my own kids, like, just I don't know, really cool. My wife, on the other hand, hates this journey. Like, she absolutely hates this part of, like, parenting. She's like, I don't want them. No, they don't need to make that decision. They don't need to have that responsibility yet. I'm like, I think they do. I think they're there. I
Yeah,
think they get to make that.
I think it's different, especially for Becca and Lindsay, because they see, especially in school, they see so many kids making so many decisions on the daily, and that they
Mm-hmm.
sometimes get it wrong completely. That they don't want to see their own offspring kind of have to go through that, or
Yeah.
to even parent it because they have to deal with it at school, then to come home and try and parent that situation as well. Like I've had countless times where Lindsay's walked through the door where there's been a situation that's gone off, and Lindsay's like, it's like a busman's holiday. It's just like I've come home and I'm doing the same thing I'm doing at
Yeah.
work, but I'm doing at home with the kids. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that same sentiment every once in a while as well. And it's an interesting thing too because you're like, you see the collision or the thing that's about to happen and you're like, I could stop this. And actually, it would make my life easier in the short term. Like because if I let the collision happen, I'm gonna have to pick up the pieces of whatever that is, whatever that mistake is, whatever that failure is, whatever it is. It's gonna take so much more work. But like in the long run, in the long term, it's totally the way to let them be their own person and make that mistake and show them why it was a mistake and how to not make it and pick them up and do the thing and
yeah.
then help them not make it again ever again in the future other than just keep being the one that guides them on the right set the safe path and then at some point you're just not going to be there whether and then they're not going to know how to stay on that path.
Well, yeah, and that's evident. Like we, when Jay went to university, we were like, we've always been there in the background to best advise, make sure she's eating the right things, make sure she's on a decent sleep schedule, even though she still chose not to be and stuff. She can only direct them so far.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we sent her off. That was it. We moved her down there. We high five, see you later,
Mm-hmm.
enjoy. You're now an adult. Goodbye. And she did. She lasted well. She did well. Um, and then it became difficult. But we were there. We were able to come back
Mm-hmm.
in as parents and be like, look, we are the safety net that's always there for you. Come back and regroup.
Mm-hmm.
Rebuild
Yeah.
and off you go again, kind of thing. Um, but yeah, if you don't let them make decisions that could either be, could fail or succeed, if you don't let them do that for themselves, you're going to end up with kids that turn into young adults that get into situations and don't stop and think. They just carry
Mm-hmm.
on because nobody's there to tell. Like they're looking over the shoulder, like, "Is this okay? Should I do this?" And you're not there, and they're gonna go, "Well, there's nobody here to tell me I should or shouldn't, so whatever. Here I go." And could
Mm-hmm.
get themselves into really bad situations or go down a path that's really bad for them because they're easily led by people that they see who have got more responsibility or more switched on than they are, which isn't being negative towards anybody in terms of their thought process on stuff. But if they haven't had the ability to make that decision for themselves, they will look to others. And if others are in the mindset of "I don't care, I'm going to make the decision bad or good anyway," they get led quite easily down the garden path. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and it you can see it somewhat in our at least in our American workforce a bit of people who are, have trouble being autonomous of just being able to be like, "Hey, this is what I need to do. I'm just going to go do it," or "I'm not really sure, but I've been equipped with all the stuff, so I'm just going to make this decision." And there are a lot of people that struggle to do
yeah,
that. like
I
to just to just like just like
mean,
here's a great example. I was at McDonald's. I go there sometimes just to drink a Coke Zero and do work. By sometimes I mean more than I should. Um
As
And
long as it's just a Coke Zero, let's think of your gallbladder here.
yeah, no, well, I have a feeling that's how it started, but it is just a Coke Zero now. But anyways, that's a different subject, different topic, different podcast. They dropped something on the ground, like it was like a drink, like one of the slushy type things, whatever. It drops on the ground and it's in there. And the girl goes back in and she's like, I dropped a slushy on the ground. And I hear the manager be like, she's like, well, get him up. What do you, well, I don't care that you dropped, get him up and fix it. And she was just like, and you could tell she was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Like, well, it should have just kind of come natural, like slushy on ground, clean up, move forward. But it's just that kind of stuff. And it
Yeah.
just kind of can, I don't know. You just got to give them the chance to, to problem solve when they're younger, young people.
Yeah, and there's a group chat for Logan's year group, and I think it's called like it changes as they go up. But it currently sits at year 3 months, and tomorrow is their last day. So what are we at now? Well, for me, it's now Tuesday. So today is the last day. Tuesday, 21st of July is their last day. School haven't put anything out direct saying, you know, if it's uniform or non-uniform. It's
Hmm.
with the weather being really hot, they have kind of relaxed, and people have been able to go in just like their PE kit because it's lighter. So white t-shirt, black
Hmm.
shorts. But there's been parents in that group that have been like, "Oh, I'm not sending them into school uniform on Tuesday. They've already done their PE kit day because it was sports day on the Monday. I'm just letting them go in whatever they want to go in on Tuesday because I want to. Like I've already thrown away that PE kit, their school uniform. It doesn't fit anymore. I've got rid of it. So what am I going to do? It's like, yeah, but that's not the policy. School policy is unless they say otherwise, turn up in school uniform. So
Hmm.
those parents are then allowing the kids to go into school in whatever they want, and the kids are going to be like, "Well, my mum and dad said it was okay." And it's like,
Hmm.
but it's not. It's the policy. There is a uniform policy in place because it's a day one rule that you have to follow. You turn up in whatever the uniform that is 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 there. And Lindsay will have conversations with parents for the school that she works at when the kids come in and they're not in the right uniform and they're ringing up the parents and saying, well, you have to come and bring the correct uniform for your child. It's like, oh, this is ridiculous. Why are you telling me that I have to do this? I said, well, it's because it's a uniform policy. Oh, well, it's just ridiculous. It's just at school. And Lindsay will turn around and she will use the prompt of saying, well, what happens if you don't turn up in the correct uniform that you need to wear while you're at work? So, well, I'd, I'd potentially get the sack. There'd be a disciplinary on it. And she's like, well, it's exactly the same here. It's a policy that has to be followed. We set these rules at an early point in their life, so they understand and follow them because it's just a simple policy. You turn up in your uniform. That's what you got to do. It's like for me, if I went to work and decided that I didn't want to walk around the boiler house in my PPE and just thought, yeah, screw it, I'm going to go in shorts and t-shirts and a pair of trainers because it's warm. I'd be sacked. It's mandatory that I have to wear the correct PPE at all times. I'd be sacked on the spot. It's a
Hmm.
golden rule. So if you as a parent are allowing your children to just go ahead and make this really crap decision on your own, you set a precedent. And you give them. So we've talked a lot about the positives in watching them grow up. But if you lead them in the wrong direction, you are going to negatively impact them later on in their education or even in their adult life, where they're like, "Well, I do the rules, screw that," and they end up failing in multiple jobs and disciplines that it then becomes difficult for them to be employed and stuff like that. So you really don't set them a great precedent because you think it's just okay to do what they want to do whenever they want to do it. So
Hmm.
it goes back to the autonomy side of, the slushies fall on the floor. It's, oh, I should clean that up. Not, I'll wait for somebody to tell me to clean it up because I don't know if I need to do that otherwise. You can negatively impact them in their thought process in terms of allowing them to do things because you said it's okay and you are happy for them to go against a policy. Oh, And
Yeah,
Lindsay openly said, she says, "The parents that let their kids do that are the parents that then she has to struggle having communications with later on in high school." So,
sure. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
no, and it's interesting too because, as you say, you set a precedent, but sometimes you you're not thinking of it that way, right? You're not thinking of like you're like, listen, let's not worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm tired. I don't care about the rest of this year. We're done. But then you don't realize how that I'm gonna say I don't know how else to say this. Codes into your kid basically, right? Of like, oh,
Yeah.
like you're just like, listen, most of the time we'll do it just we'll follow the policy, we'll do the thing. Right now I'm tired and I don't care, so we're not going to worry about it. Have a nice day. But then all of a sudden like that codes into your little one in a different way of like, oh, okay. Well, if we're tired or we're on our last nerve, then we don't have to follow policy. That is very helpful information to know as I grow up.
Yeah.
Why didn't
I
we
mean,
think?
I I look at the weather now for tomorrow, and it's going to be 27 degrees, which is going to be pretty. It's going to be warm. Um, yeah, there's a UV index. There it is. So when like midday, when Logan is literally going to be out on the playground playing and running around, it's going to be a UV index of 5, which sits at the high mark, which is pretty bad. I I'm. It's his last day. I'm not going to send him in grey, like, suit style shorts that the kids go in, and a white shirt, like a polyester style shirt, and his fleece. I'm not going to send him in that. It's going to be too warm for him. But equally, I'm not going to allow him just rock up in a pair of denim shorts and a t-shirt with SpongeBob on because it's not right. So I got his uniform out earlier on and ready for tomorrow. It's something that I'm trying to get them all to do is to prepare for the next day today. So then you're
Nice.
not rushing around in the morning. So his uniform's all hung up there. He's got his boxer shorts. His socks are all picked out and ready. So in the morning when he gets up, he knows to just come down, breakfast, go brush his teeth, get ready, and then he's got plenty of time to do what he wants. But I got him out just some baggy-ish, comfy PE style shorts and a plain white PE t-shirt, which is the school uniform policy for PE. And he's going to go in that. That's it. He's good. The only caveat is he's not going to wear his black school shoes because they're heavy and warm and not very breathable. So he's going to go in his PE trainers, which is allowed for school because they're breathable and lightweight. That is the only caveat that I'm allowing. But I don't want him to be too warm. I want him to be comfortable. I want him to enjoy
Mhm.
his last day, but at the same time, I also want him to kind of stick to the rules because they're rules. So
Sure. Yeah. So
meet you halfway.
meet meet halfway. And it's important you explain why, right? So like
Yeah,
and the why cannot be like, listen, I just don't feel like it, or listen, I'm tired. Because then that's what it's gonna be for you when you're like, listen, you need to do this. And they're gonna be like, listen, I don't feel like it, and listen, I'm tired. That's exactly that's exactly what you told me when we didn't follow that one school rule. And so
yeah,
then it'd be like, well, so yeah, it has to make some semblance of sense, not just that. And I mean,
yeah.
don't get me wrong, that's not easy because sometimes you don't want to
No,
do a certain thing because you just don't feel like it and you're tired. 100%.
and you don't want the argument with them. I mean, I will be both hands up. I will say I am that parent that will come home from a night shift, and Lindsay leaves the house at 7:15, and I've got like I'll have come through the door at 7:10. We literally high five at the door. Have you slept okay? Yeah. How are you feeling? I'm all right. Cool. Have a good day. Love you lots. See you later.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Yeah.
She'll walk out the door. And then I'm like presented with I've got like pack ups to make. I've got to get the kids up. I've got to do this, got to do the other. I don't want the arguments at that time of the morning after a night shift. I'm knackered. It's like
Yeah.
I don't want it. But at the same time, if I just let them get away with murder, now I'm just making a rod for my own back later on down the line. So
Well said.
it's that short-term pain for a long-term gain.
Mm-hmm.
So and and it's worked because Jaya, Emily are both really self-sufficient. Like Jaya gets up if I'm not at home to take her to work. Like I will take Jaya to work because I don't like her walking through town at that time on a morning. But and I will get up, take her to work, then go to the gym. Benefits me. I get the gym out of the way earlier. It does. So, but for the last 2 mornings when I've been on nights and she's having to start work at 5 a.m., I've seen the ring doorbell go at 4:30 in the morning because Jaya's getting out the door to go to work. But she's got up. She's made herself presentable. She's got a work uniform. She's got a drink. She's got something to eat for when she finishes the shift before she comes home, and she's gone. Fantastic. Emily sets an alarm. She gets up 7 o'clock in the morning for school. She'll come down. She'll make her own breakfast. She'll go up. She'll get herself sorted, dressed, do her hair, everything like that. She makes sure everything's done. I will make the pack up for her sometimes, but I did forget one day last week, and she made it herself, which was awesome. But at
Yeah,
the same
that's the
time, I don't
best.
like doing it. Yeah. Um, but like self sufficient. And she comes and gives me a hug at 5 to 8. She's going to go out the door. So see you later. Have a good day. Off she goes. It's like all those years of being the person that's saying, like, get up, get this, do this, do this, do this has paid off because they're super self sufficient. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot wait for the day that Logan can do that. I will literally just have to wake up on a morning and go, I'm running, food, drink, see you later, bye. Um, and it'll have taken some time because Jay is 20, Emily's 14, Logan's 8. I have
Mm-hmm.
done years of early mornings and school runs and pack ups and coming in from nights and not being able to sleep straight. I now know how my mum felt because I can remember the day when I was a kid where my mum didn't have to wake me and my brother up for school. She could come in from nights after working because my mum worked like predominantly nights. She never did days. My dad did days. My mum did nights. Um, and she would come in, and I would wake up, and my mum would be in the living room, and she'd be like eating her supper before she goes to bed, and she'd be like, "Morning." I'm like, "You morning? You had a good day at work?" Blah, blah, blah. Or good night at work, and so on and so forth. And I would literally get myself sorted and go to work, and she would be like, "I'm off to bed now, boys. Lock up as you leave. I'll see you later." I can't wait for that day. It's coming. It's almost here. But at the same time, I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, with I don't. I've listened to you talk about Logan when he wakes up. It sounds similar to Ariel when she was 8, and I will tell you this year she made leaps and bounds. I've been I mean, she used to be like you have to be like Eric. You just really prod, like just lots of prodding. Like don't forget you got to get this. Don't forget to do that. You got to do this. Don't forget to do that. And it was just like, but she's not she's not there yet, but she is a lot closer. Instead of like what seemed like every 5 minute proddings, it's like you just got to give her like you got to like check in on her like every 20 or so minutes out of like 3 times in the morning and be like, okay, where is she at? What maybe has she forgotten? And what does she need to do? So Noah, that kid is always he's a checklist dude. That kid has always been like, I don't know. He's
Clipboard.
always just knowing he's just gets it done and then it's done with it. It's just that's his thing. It also can be his downfall too sometimes when he's like just wants to do his checklist and there's like actually other things that maybe need to be focused on. So it's not always positive, but in that particular instance it is.
No, and it's the feedback as well from other parents when like they say, "Oh, I just witnessed so and so like helping so and so when they've done something, and it was really nice. It was like congratulations on raising a decent child, a decent human being,"
A
and you
decent
kind of go, "Ah, I didn't screw up. This is awesome." And,
So you're saying there's a chance.
I did it. I did it.
So,
Parenthood completed it. So, but no, it's. I will say to anyone I know that's having a kid that it's the hardest, most stressful thing I have ever done in my life, ever. But at the same time, being a dad is the most rewarding thing I've ever done. It's thankless. It really is. And once you accept that it's thankless, but so rewarding at the same time, it makes life so much easier. It's like we don't do this you don't do it to earn a medal. There's no accolades to this. It's not a video game based thing where you unlock achievements and you're winning points and prizes.
although it
But
should
you
be.
are raising yeah, hell yeah, make things in life a lot easier. But at the end of it, when you can have, especially for me, I've got an adult. Well, yeah, Jay's an adult. I've got an adult that's self sufficient. She's working. She's going away in 24 hours for 2 weeks to Spain. The first time she's ever
Mm,
left the country completely on her own. She's going through the airport process and everything. But to which is daunting. It's scary. I have actually expressed my concerns, but equally, I know that she'll be so nervous and anxious about making sure she doesn't miss the flight and so on and so forth. That should
mhm,
be fantastic. Um, but I sit back and sometimes think, wow, I've got a 20-year-old that's about to leave the country on her own for the first time to fly out to her grandma's in Spain. I've got a 14-year-old that has such a creative mind. Sh- She can do things that are morally incorrect, but she's still learning. Um, and then there's Logan, who's so kind and compassionate for others. I sit there and I think it's thankless, but at the same time, I feel so rewarded. I feel so
mhm,
blessed to have three people in my life that I've created or helped create and nurture to be reasonable people. That it is a thankless task, but at the same time, it's massively rewarding. And that's what happens. Is when you're tiny little tiny potatoes. Going back to how we started this podcast, how your tiny little potatoes when they come out, who just can't do anything but cry to be fed, to be changed, to be looked after, can then grow to a 20-year-old that's going to leave the country for the first time on her own, fly on a plane, and do all that herself. It's mind blowing the difference from you have to be their sole purpose and protection to making sure that they have their passport on the day that you take them to the
mhm.
airport. It's just how you get from A to B is crazy, but it's such a fantastic journey. It is massively thankless, but it's so rewarding at the same time. I can yeah, it's
Yeah.
brilliant.
No, you're 100% right. And the fact that Jaya can do that because she is her own person and she grew up in to be her own person because you slowly gave her more and more space to do that is that's a huge part of it. And so, but yeah, 100% true. I agree with
Don't
everything you said.
don't get me wrong. She leaves tomorrow or today for me, and her suitcase is currently empty. That's currently driving Lindsay mad because Lindsay will have had lists upon lists ready a week ago for what needs to be where, and she would have been packed like 3 or 4 days ago. I got the suitcase out of the loft for Jay this evening, wheeled it into her room, put it next to her bed. Said, you need to start packing.
Hmm.
When I last went into that bedroom to see how they all were, that suitcase was still empty.
And
So
she's leaving tomorrow.
yeah, well, today
Today,
basically.
yeah, today for you. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, this is one of those things where, even when they're 20, you let them learn a bit, right? So,
Hmm.
one, that she's landing in a safe spot with her grandma, right? So if she did forget something like seriously important, like, or whatever. If she forgot something, she's gonna have her grandma there to help her get whatever it might be. And so as long as you hand her the passport, the thing she needs the most to make the trek, then she's gonna land in a space where she's not. Basically, what I'm saying is she's not just going out on a vacation where it could be difficult to attain an item that she might forget. And this
Yeah,
way, she can be like, "Oh man, I forgot that thing," and she gotta go get it.
yeah. This is true. And I know her grandma, well, I know her grandma absolutely dotes on Jaya. So I know when she gets there, she'll be well looked after. But it's that process of, I don't think I think it's a dad. It's not me. It's not even me. It's a biological dad that's taken her to the airport. And like, once you leave them at security check-in, it's like,
Yeah.
see you in, like, I'll hear from you in 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck. High
Yep.
five.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So it'll be interesting. Do you know how she packs? Is she light packer, or like she's gonna need another
If
suitcase by the time she's done?
if it's anything like I witnessed when she came back from uni, it's just so unorganized. It's unreal.
She's gonna be packing last
But
minute. She's gonna be grabbing random things, like whatever fits. I have 75
but
pair of underwear, but only one shirt. I'm not sure.
yeah, I know Lindsay will have some kind of weigh in on this tomorrow. Um, so I'm as long as she takes all her own toiletries from here, costumes and stuff that she can wear, like in the pool, around the pool, and out on an evening, I'm pretty certain she'll be fine. I know her grandma will have a couple of things there because obviously
Yeah.
Jay is an adult. And she's a similar like height and stuff to her grandma and build, so like she'll be able to borrow stuff from her grandma if she gets really stuck. But I know for a fact that she won't. For that, they won't see her without anything. They are fantastic. Not my family, but Jaya's like dad's side, but they are fantastic people and lovely. Will look after her. So
Sure. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying. So like she can forget
yeah,
something, she can learn from forgetting something, but also she's landed at a safe spot where it can also be provided for her. So,
yeah.
oh,
You've got all this to come.
yeah. Yeah, you better believe I do.
Yeah, look at this.
You better believe it.
Yeah, we're learning from each other. This is what I love about doing this. We learn from each other. Your kids are like intermixed with the age of my kids,
Mm-hmm.
so I could be like, "Hey, I screwed up doing this. Don't do this because
Mm-hmm.
that was wrong." And equally, we learn the other way around. That you've probably given Noah more freedom than I've given Logan yet, so I should maybe look at following your guidance on that. But at the same time, it's my baby and it's my last baby, so.
Mm-hmm. I definitely hear you, man. I hear you. Interesting. But I do find it like both with what they do and then also with just their physical appearance sometimes, you look at them, and you're just like, wow, he's growing up. It's like he's not an adult, but he's like getting closer, I guess every minute he gets closer, but still, like, that might have snuck up on me. I might have not realized that he was getting
Yeah,
closer.
because time goes so fast, and it's ridiculous as you get older and stuff. Time, like, I can't believe that we're already in the back end of the 7th month of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't feel 2 minutes that we were discussing what we like got for Christmas and Valentine's Day and stuff. So time passes so fast, and that you can miss a lot in a blink of an eye. So seeing that transition from still a kid to how big are these people getting? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
need to stop feeding them so much.
Dude,
Take
we
them out of
can we can
Miracle-Gro.
go back further than that. Feels like it wasn't too long ago that we were like, we should do something about Animal Crossing. And when we did that, Logan was 2.
Yeah, I nearly swore then. But yes.
We've been
Oh
doing
my
this
word.
since Logan was 2, man. And Ariel
I'm
was
just
4, and yeah.
I'm going back now. It's like I my camera roll seems really like limited. And then as soon as Logan was born, it was like there's just so many pictures of him. That's my wedding day.
Yeah. It's like when we
That
got
was
back
the end.
into Animal Crossing for a hot minute here at the house. I don't know. I think it was a while ago, but like earlier this year. And Ariel was like, "What?" She was like doing something. She's like, "Oh, how do you do that?" I don't know how you do it. I was like, "Ariel, you played this before," and Noah was like, "Dad, she was like 4. You just basically let her run around and not do anything." And I was like, "Yes, that's true. She was 4. Wow, I didn't like I don't know. It just blew me away. I was like, that's true. She was. It seems like she was not 4 when that happened. But yeah. Anyways,
Yeah. I must be close here, but yeah, he was still in like eating in a high chair. You friggin' kid was still eating in a high chair when we first started this game, and
is he eating
wow.
chicken nuggets?
No, I think he was on the back of just as figuring out that he had a milk and soya
Oh
intolerance.
yeah. I bet that's right. Yep.
Yeah, because that was we figured that out post COVID. So this was we started doing this pre-COVID because obviously Animal Crossing dropped on really well. Um,
I just envision Logan coming out of the womb being like, "What's up, guys? I got myself some chicken nuggets. I'm ready. Is it Friday yet? I need more chicken nuggets."
he didn't have. Did he have chicken nuggets? No, he didn't have chicken nuggets today. Oh, it's because it's on Friday. It's
Yeah.
it's it's because they're finishing so early, and we're podcasting on a Monday. That is
Yeah.
confusing me. But yeah, he
Yeah.
he didn't. He had chicken burger today. But yeah, I'm I'm gonna impose that tomorrow being his last day at school, he's allowed chicken nuggets on a Tuesday. So
My
I don't know
gosh.
how that's gonna go down with Mum, but yeah,
Ask for forgiveness,
okay.
not
Yeah.
permission.
Josh at work said that it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. But
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
within you got to really watch how you use it. But at some points, it is correct. At other points, it's not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Don't
politicians that
go
can
and
tell you, hmm, asking asking for forgiveness did not win the battle for me. So you gotta really pick your battles on that one before you jump in on believing it. I don't believe it wholeheartedly. That's my point.
Yeah. Small things.
Mhm.
Not small. Work up. And eventually you'll find where it pivots.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
So yeah. Well, I tell you what, to say you were concerned that we weren't going to fill half an hour with when our children became actual people, I imagine we've hit the 40-minute mark here.
50-minute mark. But yes, we squirreled quite a bit. But
Jeez.
yes, yeah, we hit the 50-minute mark. We
No,
just rolled
no,
over to 50 minutes.
it's it it's one of them topics that is very open ended, and I won't lie, I use ChatGPT to do that, to pull this topic out. We have another two in the bag for the next 2 weeks. Um, but it's such an open ended topic because you don't know when one discussion about how they've changed opens the door to another discussion about what's and
For sure.
yeah, parent is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. That's why we
Crazy.
make a podcast about it because it's just constantly crazy and there's always really cool stuff to talk about.
Mm.
It's a
Yep.
lot easier than talking about Game Pass, which
Yep.
is dying.
Which is tired. Man, feel like we jumped off that ship just before the engine fell off the plane.
Yep. Oh, look, there's a hole in your boat.
You guys have a great time. Somebody else put the
Yeah.
finger in the hole. We're getting off the boat. All right, I think we need to end this.
Yeah, thanks for that, Bobo. Anyways, thanks very much for listening. We hope you, we do hope you find the dot topics useful. I know we don't always hit them because it is very difficult sometimes to pick something that we can really chew into. But this was one of the things that I felt we could. But yeah, thanks very much for listening. We hope we find it useful. If you are a first time parent, mom and dad, if you listen to this, or if you're a seasoned parent like us, I call us seasons because we've definitely done a decade of parenting, which makes us like
Sure.
elite. Yeah, we have been there. We have the badges and the scars. Um, but yeah, we hope you find it useful. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you soon.
Peace out, dads.
Thanks for tuning in to Dad Crossing. We're here to remind you that this podcast is made by dads for dads. It's a place where all of us can come together, share a laugh, and tackle the wild ride that is fatherhood. If you want to keep the conversation going or just need a safe space to chat or ask for help, you are always welcome to reach out. You can find me, Sean, at Sean_Abbott, and you can find my good friend Nick at Nick10Do. And of course, give our social media platforms a good look over, because that is where we share all the updates, all the laughs, and all the things dad life. That is, everything is at Dad Crossing. For anything more, feel free to drop us a message at team@dadcrossing.com. And until next time, stay strong, stay connected, and remember, you're never alone on this journey. We'll see you in the next episode of Dad Crossing.